Praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Kakadash. This is Kanye West sitting down with a rabbi to apologize. You know, he pouring his heart out. You know, they got hands on each other. You know what I mean? Close. You know, sitting there pouring his heart out. But my point of making this video is I just wanted to show you how childish this Hebrew Israelite thing that we call, you know, which I'm a part of this, you know, and that's for life because, like, I done named my children after this movement, you know. Not, I won't say after this movement, but definitely with the last name, Yasharallah. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I believe in. This is what I pray to every night, you know what I mean? This is what it is to the very end. So I'm riding with my group. Whether it's different camps amongst the Hebrew Israelite thing, one of the things I noticed is that the movement is bigger than the camps. You see what I'm saying? These guys is little boys running around in their feelings, doing little boy things for clout. This is the reason why people ask the question of why the camps can't come together, because they're childish. They all still fighting over the crumbs. If you're not independent of the American dollar, bear with me. If you're not independent of the American dollar, then you will always be a slave and controlled by the American dollar, which we all are to this day. And that's the reason why you see us all running around doing these foolish things. I done came to the conclusion that none of us really know exactly what's going on. I just heard a new breakdown of Revelation 13 and it made perfect sense. You see what I'm saying? My first time ever hearing the new breakdown of Revelation 13 today, and it made perfect sense. So I came up with the conclusion that, look, you could read the Bible and you give your best interpretation of what you think, right? Or whatever the Lord delivered to you, right? But we are all supposed to bring that together as puzzle pieces, which lead us to the truth. Nobody has 100% of the truth. None of us. That's prideful. That's just guys in the pride, childish, playing games still. And that's the reason why we're still in the position we're in till this day. Everybody running around 3i Atlas. 3i Atlas is an alien spaceship. I'm praying and hoping that it is too, but what if it's not? Then what happens to the dudes that was running around saying that it was making videos? Which leads me back to this. What happens to the guys that was running around praising Kanye West when he was saying this and saying that and saying all this about the small hats? But now look at him right now. Right? And this is the reason why you don't jump the gun, man. You don't do stuff for clout. All these guys running around Kanye West this, Kanye West that. Kanye West is still a devil, like, but I did agree with what he said, putting Kanye West up as they fucking video and everything like that. It's just all childish. This is why you see me take a step back, because I realized that it's the Lord's way, which I do not believe that this Hebrew Israelite thing that we call our little thing to this day that we call the Hebrew Israelites. I do not believe that this is the route to the Lord. I believe that in the future there's going to become something that is going to be the house of David, that is going to be the true route to the Lord. I don't believe that this is it. This is all foolish. This is going to come to an end, right? That's just my personal belief because of all the bullshit that's going on. You know, guys making up man-made systems. You see what I'm saying? Yes, it's talking about going on the highways and byways. It do not say you have to go on the highways and byways and post up as a camp and do that every week. It does not say that. Going on the highways and byways could simply be walking through the streets. You had to walk through the streets. You see what I'm saying? Highways and byways. And you spread the truth. You see what I'm saying? So this is all man-made systems that we see today. Everybody think that they got the truth. Everybody wrong on something. And a lot of times, everybody right on something. You see what I'm saying? So this is the reason why you see me take a back step from this community, right? Because it's bullshit. I see this stuff that happened with Gorilla Hebrew. It's all bullshit. We will not come together because we're all still slaves under that American dollar. Niggas put on garments, fringes, go to camp, and then after that, guess what they are slave to? Guess what they have to use on their everyday life? That American dollar. And until that change, until you become independent of that American dollar, like I said, you're always going to be a slave to it. And it's the same thing with Kanye West, and that's what this video is about. Watch this. And this is because of the American dollar and that power that comes with it that's going to break a dude and make a dude submit like this.
I'm blessed to be able to sit here with you today and just take accountability. I was dealing with some various issues dealing with bipolar also. So it would take the ideas I had and have me take them to an extreme where I would forget about the protection of the people around me and myself. So I wanted to come and take accountability. Sometimes people aren't that knowledgeable about the bipolar and the cause or what causes it and the way you act when you have this disease. So it's like if you left the house and you left your kid at the house and your kid went and messed up the kitchen and messed up the garage and messed up the living room. Now when you get back, it's your responsibility because that's your child. And that's the way I look at it. It's like I gotta go clean up the kitchen, I gotta clean up the living room, I gotta clean up the garage. Yeah, and it's a big deal for me as a man to come and take accountability for all the things that I've said. And I really just appreciate you embracing me with open arms and allowing me to make amends. And this is the beginning and the first steps and the first brick by brick to build back the strong walls.
Rabbi said that the Judaism Judaism brought to the world a way for someone when he regret about something that he has done wrong. And the Jews live on this way of if someone did something wrong, he can regret and fix it. And the rabbi is hugging you and hugging everybody. And God willing, and from now on, strong things and good things, and only good. You are a very good man.
Amen.
You know what? Kanye West finna blow up again. He finna be the richest black man once again. Like he said, all these good things and strong things are gonna happen for you. Because, let me say it this way, I feel two different ways about this. You know what I mean? Me, I kind of got the spirit of Nat Turner. You see what I'm saying? Got the spirit of King David. Me, I can't bow down. I understand, though, why he would, though. Why Kanye West would. Why Floyd Mayweather is doing what he doing, supporting them and bow down. Because it makes sense, right, on paper. I get it. Because, like, a Floyd Mayweather, he's going to do whatever is going to get him the best outcome. I remember like guys in the hood saying, "I'ma die, I'ma ride for this block," you know, and they really would, cause they'll stand 10 toes down on what they believe and they'll die. But guess what? When they die, they just another face on a t-shirt. And then you had the smart guys who were like, "I'm not gonna die for this. I'm gonna be smart, strategic, and get out of this." And then those the guys like the Carlton guys or like the lame guys, you know what I mean? But they so lame that they end up in a 5,000. 6,000, 7,000 square foot home, mansion in Bel Air, family, rich kids going to private school. So it's like, who really won at the end of the day? You stood as a man on your morals. He took the logical and sensible route, but who won at the end? You died. You see what I'm saying? So it's like the same thing when it comes to the truth. It's like we could stand on this, right, and fight against them and die, or you could join them because they got the power, right? And the Lord gave them the power, if we want to be honest about it. So I get it from a Floyd Mayweather standpoint, from a Kanye West standpoint. It's just not my way. You see what I'm saying? Because I'd rather be nothing and be independent of the American dollar and go down as, well, really, you know, if they win it and they got the power, you ain't going to go down as nothing, because they going to write the history. They going to write the story about you. The same way they did about Nat Turner. Same way they did about Malcolm X. So you got to deal with it. You know what I mean? Malcolm X risked his life, and look what happened to him and what has really came from it. Same thing with the Black Panthers. What has really, a couple programs that they getting rid of right now, what has really came for it? So you die, you know, you out there sacrificing your life, fighting for your people. Your people are fighting against you while you're doing it. And then when you lose at the end, what really comes from it. So I get from a Floyd Mayweather standpoint, hey, look, we can't fight against these people. We got to team up with these people because the Lord gave them the power. No matter how you feel about it on earth right now, the Lord gave them the power. I will say it's just a lack of understanding. Of course, the Lord did give them the power, but that's for right now. But that right now has been thousands of years with no ending in sight. So y'all say there's an ending in sight because there's a comet flying around the solar system, which I'm praying and hoping that it is a spaceship. But in reality, really don't know. Every man and every generation thought that their generation was the end times and that the Lord was coming back on their generation. We really don't know. And you got to be honest about that. I remember Gorilla Hebrew was breaking that down, and brothers was in they feelings like little ass boys running around crying about it because he was breaking down the truth of how much time we could possibly have here. Not how much time he hoped we had or how much time we think, but he was just telling you, answer the question straight of how much time we possibly could have. You see what I'm saying? But this is what you get in this community. This is why I believe that this is not the community of the Lord's man, of the Lord's way. Yes, there is truth amongst this community, but this community is a forerunner for something that's going to come in the future. That's what I 100% believe. You see what I'm saying? But following Judaism, you know, they got different sects and stuff. Of course, they got some very, very wicked sects, and even they most honorable sects, which actually try to follow the Torah and everything, is still wicked in our eyes. But it's a lot damn closer to following the Lord than following Esau, Edom, the American Edomite. That's what we've been doing. We've been following the American Edomite, which are just pretty much savages, barbarian devils. And the same thing with the Amalek. I always say that the wrong way, but Amalek. But it's a lot closer to the Lord than following the American Edomite. So there's a war going on between the American Edomite right now and Amalek, which is a chief house of Esau. They got like a little war brewing between them, right? And everybody's picking sides and choosing who to be on their team. And I had this personally brought to my attention when I had ran into a small hat woman, and she was sitting there pouring her heart out to me, telling me about how our histories are similar and how that we need to team up together and we need to come together and go against the Trump people, which he represents the American Edomite. And that's what she was saying. And she was pouring it out to me in a random place where she randomly seen me, came up talking to me, and pretty much they've been pushing that agenda of the Black Americans being the lost tribes and trying to connect with us and combine with us. So now I'm asking, like, is it a thing where we do come together with them because there are some Israelites scattered amongst them too, and get a taste of that power, and then at the very end, when it's only us and them left, then we settle our differences right there and may the best man win? Is that what Kanye West is on? Is that what Floyd Mayweather is on? Is that their plan? Or is it a thing where we just be a resistance against them because we know that they're at the top of the power and they're the ones responsible for everything that happened to us? But really, we're responsible for everything that happened to us because the Lord gave them the power on earth, and the Lord gave us nothing to resist against them with. Nothing. Now, some people will say, no, the Lord gave us the Bible to resist against them. They have the Bible. Well, the Lord gave us the truth. Well, then, who got the truth? Is it your favorite camp? Is it Camp A? Is it Camp B? Is it Camp C? Is it Camp D? Is it Camp E, F, G? Is it Camp 10? Is it Camp 100? Is it Camp 1000? Because there's so many of them out there. You see what I'm saying? So then you run into that bullshit question. But at the end of the day, who did the Lord give the power to on earth right now? He gave it to them. That's why I say I can understand Kanye West. And I can understand Floyd Mayweather. So who are you to go against what the Lord set up and who the Lord gave the power to on earth? That's the way Floyd's looking at it. That's the way Kanye West is looking at it. Who am I? The Lord gave them power. He tried to fight. And when he tried to fight, he really didn't get no help from his peers, other powerful people. He got praises from us, some Hebrew Israelites that have no power, because the Lord didn't give us nothing to fight back with. We have nothing. Spiritually, physically, no money, no power on the earth, no unity. We have nothing to fight back against. The Lord took all the power away from us. And he gave them all the power on the earth. So that started to make me question some things. Why are we running around so much talking about, oh, the small hat guys, or the small hat guys are the devil. They're the ones against us. When the Lord is the one who gave them their power. If there's evil in the city, right? Has the Lord not done it? Let me get another precept. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. And that's the problem with our community. We can't put away the childish things that separate us. I'm this leader. I don't know. I'm over him. No, I brought him in. No, I got the truth. No, what I said is right. What you said is wrong. No, we want the fame. We want the money. Childish things, man. We have to become man. The bigger picture. Which they're way better at doing than us. Because even though they got sects that believe in different things, they make sure they keep the power amongst their people. It's so easy for us to copy and do what they did. As Black Americans, collectively, we one of the richest groups on earth. We could go to Ghana, we could go to Nigeria and take over their country. You see what I'm saying? The same way the small hats came to America and infiltrated and take over whatever country they want to on earth. They infiltrate what? Entertainment. Because you get messages through entertainment. And the people follow what's cool, and they follow what? Entertainment. They take over media, all type of media, whether it be news, so that the people getting their news and their information and their opinions from you. And they take over, they get into politics. They infiltrate politics at the highest level. So ain't nobody gonna come in office is gonna vote against them because they are already infiltrated in there. The same thing we could do going to another country. You saw what I'm saying? They take over, which politics lead to the military, right? Lead to your police force, your National Guard, right? Because that's all controlled by politics. So they take over that. They infiltrate the highest levels, even all the way up to the presidential, media, entertainment, supply chain, and then most importantly, well, I say supply chain might be most importantly, but most importantly, the banking system. We could take that same blueprint, go to another country that's weaker as a collective, as Black people, and we were in unity, take over that country and literally have our own country. But we can't do it because we can't unify because of these childish things, man. But, let me get another one. Amos 3, verse 6. Should a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Should there be evil in the city and the Lord has not done it? Meaning that whether there's good or evil in the city, actually, the Lord is behind it because the Lord controls everything. So the evil that's being done in the city, right, because we say that they're the border of wickedness, going back to Obadiah 1, right? The Lord created them to be that, and then he gave them power over the earth, not for 20 years, 400 years, for thousands of years, even to this day. So we got to deal with that. The Lord chose them and gave them power over everything for thousands of years. Got to deal with it. Nobody wants to deal with that, but that's something that we have to deal with. So Kanye West folded, of course he was, but to me it makes sense why he would. We run around talking, right? Talking heads all day, making videos, including myself, But what are we doing? And this has always been my problem with the Hebrew Israelite community personally. It's like, what are you doing? Yes, you running around, you talking. You get on the highways and byways, you put a show on. I done seen it so many guys. They get on that highways and byways, they stand next to brothers and make them feel bad and make them feel good. I did it myself for years. We was going down there ourselves. We didn't need other brothers. It was just me and my cousin. We going down there, man. We could get out here and put this work. And before he came out there, I was out there by myself. But I see it all the time. Brothers think that, they finna get a little clout. They got a camera in front of their face. You know what I mean? They believe that they something more than what they is. And they get out there and they get to talking. And then they go home. Then they get on a video just like I'm doing right now. And then they get to talking some more. But what are we actually doing? It's so much more that we actually could do to be a resistance, man. But they'll just tell you, man, you ain't supposed to do nothing. Nah, I don't believe that. I believe the Lord gave us the power, gave us the ability to actually be a resistance to this wickedness, if we want to. But that's on us. Just a quick video, though. With that, I'm going to say salvation to the elect. Shalom.